When your cat locks eyes with you and just doesn't look away, do you actually know what that means? Most people assume it's aggression. Some think their cat is just being weird. But what's actually happening in that moment is one of the most emotionally loaded things your cat can do. And if you've been misreading it, which most owners have, you've been missing messages they've been sending for years. Let's start with the biggest myth about the stare. It was never about dominance. Ask most people what it means when a cat stares at them, and they'll say the same thing. It's a power move, a challenge. The cat is trying to assert control. And honestly, that makes sense on the surface. In the animal world, prolonged eye contact is often a threat. Predators lock eyes with prey. Rivals stare each other down before a fight. So when your cat fixes their gaze on you and holds it, it feels like a standoff. But here's the thing, that rule doesn't apply the way most people think it does. Not between a cat and someone they're bonded with. When a cat stares at a stranger or a rival, yes, that gaze is tense. The body is stiff. The tail is low or still. The pupils are narrow. But when your cat stares at you from across the room while you're watching TV, their body tells a completely different story. Relaxed posture, soft ears, maybe a slow tail flick. That's not a challenge, that's attention. There's a reason they keep choosing your face out of everything else in the room. And it goes much deeper than dominance. In fact, by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what your cat is saying in those silent moments, and why one specific change in their stare is something every owner needs to watch for. 2. They are reading you in ways science is only beginning to understand. Here's something that might genuinely surprise you. When your cat stares at you, they are not just looking. They are gathering information on a level that most owners never realize. Cats are incredibly sophisticated readers of human behavior. Studies show they can detect subtle shifts in your facial expression, your posture, your breathing pattern, and even the direction of your gaze. A 2019 study published in Animal Cognition found that cats actively follow their owner's eye movements to understand what they're focused on, a behavior scientists once thought was unique to dogs and primates. So when your cat stares at you, part of what they're doing is running a full scan. They're checking your mood. They're reading your energy. They're figuring out whether you're calm, tense, distracted, or available. Your face is their weather forecast for the entire day. And the longer they hold that gaze, the more data they're collecting. This is also why cats stare more intensely when something in your behavior shifts. If you raise your voice, move suddenly, or start crying, don't be surprised when your cat's eyes lock onto you immediately. They noticed. They always notice. 3. The slow blink is their version of "I love you." Now, here's where the stare becomes something else entirely. You've probably seen it happen. Your cat is looking at you from across the room. You make eye contact. And then slowly, almost deliberately, their eyes close, halfway, and reopen. It looks lazy. It looks sleepy. But it is neither of those things. That slow blink is one of the most significant gestures in the entire cat communication system. Researchers at the University of Sussex ran a study specifically on this behavior and found that cats slow blink in response to their owners doing the same, and that it increases affiliative behavior, meaning it deepens the bond between cat and human. In the wild, closing your eyes around another animal is an enormous act of vulnerability. You're dropping your guard completely. You're saying, "I am not a threat to you, and I trust that you are not a threat to me." When your cat slow blinks at you, they are offering you that vulnerability on purpose. They chose to let their guard down in your direction. And if you slow blink back, you are answering them in the only visual language they truly understand. Try it tonight. Make soft eye contact with your cat and slowly close and reopen your eyes. What they do next will tell you exactly where you stand with them. 4. Not every stare is love, and knowing the difference matters. Here's where it gets important, because not every unblinking stare your cat gives you is a tender moment. There is a version of the cat stare that means something completely different, and the difference is in the details most owners overlook. When the stare is soft, pupils normal, body relaxed, ears forward or slightly to the side, that's connection. That's your cat choosing to look at you, because looking at you feels good to them. But when the pupils blow wide open, when the body goes rigid, when the ears flatten or rotate back, when the tail begins to lash, that stare is a warning. Something has shifted. Your cat is overstimulated, startled or feeling cornered. And in that moment, the worst thing you can do is stare back. In cat language, holding direct eye contact during tension escalates the situation. It signals confrontation. If you ever find yourself in a hard stare with a cat whose body language has gone tight, the right move is to look slightly away, blink slowly, and give them space. That single response can completely defuse what's building. 5. They are waiting for you to lead them. There's another reason your cat stares at you that almost no one talks about, and it might be the most quietly powerful one of all. Cats who are deeply bonded with their owners use the stare as a form of check-in. Before they make a decision, whether to jump onto something, approach a new object, react to a sound, they look at you first. Researchers call this social referencing. It's the same behavior human toddlers show with their parents when they encounter something new or uncertain. They look at the trusted person's face to decide how to feel about it. Your cat is doing the exact same thing. If you tense up when a stranger enters the room, your cat clocks that and becomes cautious. If you stay relaxed when something loud happens, your cat reads your calm and settles. You are their emotional anchor. That stare in uncertain moments isn't random. It's your cat asking you a direct question. Is this okay? Should I be worried? What do I do? And every time you respond with calm, steady energy, you're answering them. You're telling them they're safe. And over time, that exchange builds something that goes far beyond obedience or habit. It builds trust that runs bone deep. 6. When they suddenly stop. Listen, at the start of this video, I told you there was something specific about the stare that every owner needs to watch for. This is it. If your cat has always made eye contact with you, sought out your gaze, slow blinked at you, watched you from across the room, and that suddenly stops, don't brush it off as a mood change. Cats are creatures of deep habit. When a bonded behavior disappears, they're telling you something changed. Sometimes the cause is physical. Discomfort, illness, or vision problems can make a cat withdraw from eye contact entirely. If your older cat has stopped engaging with you visually, a vet visit is worth considering. Sometimes the cause is emotional, a disruption in the home, a conflict they don't know how to process, something that made them feel unsafe in their environment. And sometimes it's simpler than that. They felt like their communication wasn't being received. They looked at you again and again, and you looked away or didn't respond. And eventually, they stopped trying. Your cat's gaze is one of the most direct forms of communication they have. Every time they hold it on you, they're choosing to be seen and to see you back. That silent exchange, happening across your living room every single day, was never small to them. And now that you understand what it means, it doesn't have to be small to you either.